Public speaking is regarded as one of the scariest activities you can do. In fact, some studies indicate that some people fear public speaking more than death. The question is, why? Why are you so afraid of speaking to an audience? My name's Kyle Murter. I'm a public speaking coach, champion, and author, and today I am going to reveal exactly why you have this fear and how you can begin to overcome it. If this is a skill you want to get better at, subscribe to the channel, because every week I'm bringing out new videos on how to improve your speaking skills. Let's dive in to the top 3 reasons why you have the fear. The first reason is your past. Something may have happened in your past which has caused you to shy away from speaking up. For me, this something happened in school. Our English teacher wanted us to read Shakespeare out loud, and being a dyslexic, reading Shakespeare really didn't agree with me. But one day, my teacher, Miss Hope, said, "Kyle, read page 45. And of course, everyone in the class started staring at me. So with shaky hands, I picked up the book and I started reading Shakespeare. To pee or not to pee? That is the question. And of course, my classmates, they were dying with laughter. But I was also dying too, because I felt extremely embarrassed. I felt like I just wanted to evaporate and never be seen again. And I remembered that humiliation for a very long time. And it reminded me never to try and speak in public, never to put my hand up for class projects, never to put myself forward when in a group setting, to just kind of hide in the background. And maybe you've had a similar experience. Maybe at college or university, you were doing a presentation and your tutor criticized you, tore your presentation apart, told you that it was terrible, and you remembered that. Or maybe your boss slated you at work when doing a presentation, and it made you feel this small. Or maybe at school you had a humiliating experience which made you never want to speak in public again. Often our past haunts our future, and that's what stops us from ever overcoming our fear, because we don't even try because we're too afraid of it going terribly wrong again. And I know it's difficult, but in order to overcome that, you've got to try and let go of your past. You have to realize that what happened to you back then is not going to happen to you now, because you're a different person. You've grown, you've developed, the people around you have changed. Maybe your whole environment has changed since that terrible moment long ago. And with that realization that you are not your past, you then have to try and present again. And I would recommend choosing a safe place to begin practicing. It could be at home with your family, it could be at a speakers club like Toastmasters, or it could even be with a coach. But choose somewhere where you can get that first presentation win, because that's going to boost your confidence and allow you to truly let go of what happened to you long ago. The second reason you're afraid is because you don't see yourself as a speaker. And what I'm talking about here is your self-image, who you believe you are. The best example I can give you is a guy called Cameron Hanes. He's an endurance athlete who runs marathons every single day. That's right, every day he runs 26.2 miles. And I remember watching a podcast once with Cameron, and the host asked him, "How do you find the motivation to run these marathons every day? Where does that come from?" And Cameron thought for a moment and then said the most amazing thing. He said, "I'm a runner, so I run. I'm a runner, so I run." You see, Cameron's motivation doesn't come from having a goal to chase or someone externally to make proud. His motivation solely comes from his self-image. Because he sees himself as a runner, he has no choice but to run every day, because that's what runners do. So what does this mean for you? Well, it means that the reason you are afraid of speaking is because you don't see yourself as a speaker. When you go onto a stage, it does not feel like you're home. You feel like a fish out of water. And that feeling makes you think, oh, I don't belong here. I've got nothing valuable to say. I'm an imposter. I need to get out of here. And that's when things go terribly wrong in your presentation, in terms of getting mind blanks, stuttering over your words, or not getting a good response from the audience. And guess what? That bad experience reinforces the idea that you're not a speaker, and then you stay away from the stage as much as possible. So if you truly want to become confident as a speaker, you've got to see yourself as a speaker. You've got to say, I am a speaker, and believe it. Because what that's going to do is encourage you to take action. You'll start doing things that speakers do, like preparing, practicing, getting feedback, working on your mindset, and all of that extra action is going to lead to better results. In terms of the audience listening, no mind blanks, you flowing through your presentation, dare I say, you enjoying your presentation. And that's going to reinforce the idea that you are a speaker. The third reason you have the fear is because you don't control your inner voice. Let's be honest, we all have one. We all have an internal commentator as we go through our day who's telling us that we're doing well, or that things are going great, or that we're not doing well, that things are bad, that we are not ready for this, that we're not going to be able to do this, that we are not good enough. And those doubts can often come through big time when we're presenting. And if you've got an internal battle going on up here, that's going to massively affect what happens out here on the stage. So how do we deal with that inner voice who's always telling you it's not going to go well, that you're not good enough? Well, I think we can find the answer in the world of mixed martial arts. In 2019, there was a fight between Israel Adesanya and Kelvin Gastelum. And this fight was a full-out war. Both men were landing big blows on each other. They were both bleeding, they were both tired, they were both bruised. They both had been going hard for 4 long rounds, and there was 1 round left to go. Now both men went back to their corners, and Israel was not feeling good. That inner critic was coming through, and it was telling Israel, come on, you're tired. You've given it your best shot. This guy, he's too strong. You should give up now. Be safe. Think of your health. It was telling him all of these things that he didn't need to hear. And in that moment, when the World Championship was on the line, and millions of people around the world were watching, do you know what Israel said to his inner critic? He said, shut up. I'm busy. And then he went out there and destroyed Kelvin and fulfilled his dreams of becoming a UFC world champion. What can we learn from this story? We can learn that you need to have an answer for your inner critic. Because that inner critic's going to show up. It's going to say something, but the question is, what are you going to say back? Now you could say, shut up, I'm busy, if that resonates for you. Or you could say something completely different. Personally, for me, when my inner critic's, speaking a lot, I say, okay, I'll be fine. Because that's a belief, I'll be fine, that I can always go back to. I know no matter what happens on the stage, I will walk away and I will be fine. So what are you going to say to your inner critic? Prepare an answer in advance, so when it does show up, you know exactly what to say. Now, another reason people are afraid is because they simply don't know how to speak effectively. If that's you, check out this video on how to present yourself with confidence. If you enjoyed this video today, please subscribe to the channel, and above all, I hope you now feel more confident about attacking the reasons you're afraid so that you can go on to own the stage.